from the Nigerian military. And he spoke my mind then, he spoke my mind even before I was born, when he called them zombies. Because, I mean, these soldiers, if they're not zombies, what are they? There's a song that I sang and it was dedicated to the soldiers. They say, Afande, I'm not fighting you, I am fighting for you. I am fighting for your children. Your children go to the same hospitals, sick hospitals as mine. Your wife will die giving birth, like many of our wives do die. You buy groceries from the same market. You know, the misrule affects you the same. But when they order you to beat me for speaking against what's wrong, for defending what is right, I don't understand you. For me, I get a little closer to these soldiers, and many of them intimate to me. And they tell you, Bobi, we are under capture. I mean, I was able to escape Uganda because many of them disagree with what's going on. And many of them were sent to arrest me, but instead they gave me information that kept me safe. So these soldiers are also captive. There's somebody who wrote and said there are no bad soldiers, there are only bad commanders. And I agree with the writer. So it is the bad commanders. And indeed, in our effort to liberate Uganda and East Africa, we're not only liberating the people, we are liberating the soldiers and police officers too. And the first step for citizens is not to look at these police officers or military officers as enemies, but those that send them to brutalize their fellow citizens in order to keep the power of the few. Many of them, the Miriam Makebas, Eddie Grant, Hugh Masekela, you can name it. I know music is a very effective weapon against oppression. And like you heard, I introduced myself as an artist, as a musician, not as a politician. I would rather be known as an ordinary citizen. This will inspire them to know that them being ordinary citizens can actually also do what I'm doing or even better. So yes, I'm still doing music. And now that I have a little bit of safety and sanity, I'm going to hit studio again and wait for some vibes from me. Yeah. For those out there, follow me on X, Bobi Wine. Follow me on Facebook, on Instagram, and we can keep the link, we can keep communicating, we can keep inspiring each other. Of course, you talked about encouraging coups. I did not say I'm encouraging coups against dictators, but neither because while most coups are vicious circles, at least we've seen in history a guy like Jerry Rawlings in Ghana that took over and handed power to civilian rule in his lifetime. So maybe, just maybe, there's some good soldiers. In the recent recent months or years, we were celebrating our brother Ibrahim Traore that took over power in a coup, although it keeps disappointing when he abolished the Electoral Commission and now recently he discouraged democracy. And while I respect him, while he came in the image of the noble Thomas Sankara, who inspires even me to wear this beret, I disagree with anybody that rules over people without their mandate. I believe in servant leadership. I know he's popular, and I encourage, in fact, challenge my brother Ibrahim, my young brother Ibrahim Traore. as a popular artist, as a popular leader. Let him allow the people of Burkina Faso to elect him so he can be their servant, so we can know that he's serving the country with the mandate of the people. Short of that, he's not ruling over citizens, he's ruling over subjects. And no person should be a subject to any ruler. All leaders should lead in the interest and with the mandate of their people. And that can only be achieved when people vote for you and give you the mandate. People should always retain the power to appoint you and disappoint you, because Burkina Faso, like many other countries in Africa, do not produce only one person. There are many. So they should be able to elevate and bring down anybody depending on how she or he serves them. My sister from Uganda went to Mbarara. Mbarara is in Ankole. Mbarara is where Museveni comes from. My wife comes from Western Uganda. She's the same tribe with Museveni. And the rest of Ugandans actually have a false belief that the region where the president comes from is privileged and has facilities running, has good hospitals. Some actually tend to think that the Banyankole get tribal allowance. I'm so glad that you mentioned it, that under dictatorship, nobody is safe, not even where he or she comes from. You saw that people are so poor that they can die because of not having as low as less than $1. What is the plan? Once we change our country, the national coffers, the budget of the country, will not be focused on maintaining power, but serving the people. We are not reinventing the wheel, and like I've said in the past, I'm not claiming to be all-knowing, but I know that the intellectuals of the day, that so much money has been spent, so many workshops have been attended in the country and abroad, and solutions to terrible healthcare have been suggested. The countries like Kenya and Rwanda that have adopted them have improved their healthcare system, and our political elite go to those countries to get health care. I mean, many of our political elite, ministers and government officials, die from either Nairobi, Aga Khan Hospital, or India. But the solution has been suggested in these beautiful proposals, these detailed documents. When you look at the Maputo Protocol, it was suggested that for these countries to improve their healthcare system and curb the maternal death, which, according to the Ministry of Health in Uganda, we lose 20 women every day during childbirth. Every day. They died yesterday, they have died today, or they will die by midnight, and they will die tomorrow. It has been like this, it is like this, and it will continue to be like this until it's changed. We lose 300 children every day to avoidable causes. They died yesterday, they have or will die by end of today. Tomorrow continues until it's changed. But the solution to that was to improve the healthcare budget to as low as 15% of the budget. But because that is not the priority, they continue to die as we keep crying. So the solution is implementing these beautiful and life-changing, life-saving suggestions and proposals. And as president, those people will not have to die again. When I am president of Uganda, we will improve the budget of our healthcare system. We will pay our doctors right. We presented it in our manifesto. We did a song when I still had the liberty to sing. And we said, no child is born to die and no mother should die giving birth. And as president, I will be very, very strict. And there will be a lot of questions if a single woman dies giving birth, because no mother should die giving life. Finally, the question to our sister was, what's the game plan? Man, I'm here to get ideas from you guys. But before that, there are two fronts. The first, generally, is not giving up, not stopping, and keeping on adopting all ideas that come. We, as a National Unity Platform, the party that I lead, we have put all legal, all constitutional, and all moral options on the table. I know that many of our friends have advocated to fighting back by any means necessary. While I'm not encouraging violence, I'm not discouraging it. I mean, we are encouraging non-violence because that's what we believe in. But every day, I lose justification to stop people that want to free themselves by any means necessary. So for me and my friends, we are non-violent and we encourage non-violence because it is safe, it is moral, it is more powerful, and much as it is painful, it is the more guaranteed path of empowering an entire population, not empowering those that have the guns. So for us, we want to defeat the guns. But what English words do you want me to use to tell a guy whose wife has been raped, whose family has been killed by a person that is tweeting and chest stamping about it? What words do you want me to use? So not giving up is our first option. It continues to be constant. But now that I'm in America, we also have another front, a front which we know is very, very effective. We know that Idi Amin was empowered by the British and the international community. And when the British were done with Amin, Amin fell. The international community supported the apartheid regime in South Africa and even branded Nelson Mandela a terrorist. It was until a documentary about apartheid premiered in New York, and there were various Africans and friends of Africa from all walks of life, from all colors, all creeds, and all beliefs came together and marched against apartheid. Apartheid fell. So the wind beneath evil rulers and dictators is always in the democracies. And America is the world's biggest democracy. So we always come to them. And I'm here. And many times I've gone to the Capitol Hill, calling upon them, asking them to stand by the values that they profess. Yes. Values of democracy, human rights, and the rule of law. And we've told them that we are not asking them to come and save us. We are asking them to stop sponsoring our oppression. Yes. They give Museveni up to $1 billion every year. A person that they know has been in power for 40 years. If there was a dictator that has been in power for 40 years in Europe, he or she would be treated like a leper. We have not seen any officials from the free world standing shoulder to shoulder with Europe's last dictator, Lukashenko from Belarus. Why then do they stand shoulder to shoulder with Museveni?
Yes.
Is the standard of democracy in Africa any less? Is the standard of human rights in Africa any less? If the standard of human rights and democracy in Africa is regarded less, that is nothing less than racism. So we ask them to stop sponsoring dictatorships in Africa, to stop doing business with renowned dictators as if they are dealing with legitimate leaders. And well, I'm trying to say this in a polite way because I don't want to be misunderstood. But look in history. When Idi Amin did what Museveni is doing, he was sanctioned, he was criticized. Those that are fighting against Idi Amin, even when they were fighting violently, they were supported. My sister from Liberia, when Charles Taylor did what Museveni is doing, he was sanctioned and even arrested. Why then is Museveni and his son not arrested, or at least sanctioned? In this time and era when they have, tools like targeted sanctions against human rights violators, when they have laws like the Global Magnitsky, they can evoke them. I am not ordering them, I'm just requesting them to be the big brothers of democracy that they claim to be. Yes. Thank you very much.
Power, power. People power. Everywhere. NUP.
All right. For the purposes of keeping our memories, we're going to take a couple pictures with the director.
Yeah, I'll just take the closing.
Okay, and then he's going to give us the closing remark first, and then we'll take a couple of pictures.
All right, thank you very much, Bobi Wine, and thanks, Charles, for moderating this panel. So the thing is, the story of Africa is the same, whether you are talking about the Sudan, you are talking about Nigeria, Burkina Faso, Equatorial Guinea, or wherever you turn to in Africa, the story seems to be the same. But what we can take away from this is that the future of Africa also depends on building a democratic system that works for everyone, and the youth and people of Africa are the engine for building that democratic structure that will eventually work for everyone. So that's what I think is our major takeaway from this today. So please, let's thank Bobi Wine for joining us. And thank you to Charles for moderating and short notice. And of course, without forgetting our colleagues who either work in Uganda or are from Uganda, particularly Derek Peterson. Ugandan colleagues, East African colleagues who are in the audience here. And also our staff at the African Studies Center and the Donia Human Rights Center, our Hassan, and Wesley. Thank you for putting this event together. We really appreciate your hard work in making it happen. So thanks to our wonderful audience. We didn't expect this much audience because students are almost gone from campus because our semester ended a few weeks ago. But we are happy that all of you made it to this event this afternoon. And we hope that when next we call on you, you will, as you always do, show up for African Studies Center. Thanks, everyone.
So all the members who wish, and they belong to the African Studies Center, you could take a picture here that would actually have on the website. I want to take one with
Get up there.
Do it.
both,
100%.
both of us. Okay, yeah, cool. No, no, yeah, within it. Oh, okay.
And so I sent a picture. Asking what he thinks of her president's son.
The other way, the other way. All the way. You're on the full one.
Yes, of course.
Duncan. Yeah, absolutely.